Okay, hi everybody. Right now I'm working on giving an example of doing a value study. I used to do these a lot before I would start my painting and just work my painting over the value study. I don't do that as much today, but it's still fun to do these. And I always use French ultramarine blue. And right now I have a 9" by 12". I'm using a canvas panel. And you get a little idea of my setup. I know you're not going to see it exactly how I'm seeing it right now. And I also use a one of these viewfinders from time to time. They're really handy. You can get them in the art store, and they have pre-marked dimensions for some standard size canvases like 8 by 10, 9 by 12, 11 by 14. And you just pull this whole thing down, if you happen to have a square format. So you hold this up to your sort of like your eye, and you can look at your setup through the viewfinder and have it adjusted to the size of your canvas. So it gets you helps you with composition. So I like to use one of these things. So I'm just going to start. I may not talk a whole lot in it, but you'll kind of get the idea of what's going on here. So I am just looking through my viewfinder and trying to get the composition sort of set. And it's okay to make mistakes. I mean, yeah, I make a lot of mistakes, or like don't get it in right, or exactly how I'm seeing it. And sometimes like that's even okay. I don't worry about it too much. I mean, I'm not trying to be like a photorealist or anything like that. So, if that were the case, I probably would be approaching things a little bit differently, I'm sure. You do try to just work the whole canvas. It also can help to look for a negative space. Sometimes that helps me out quite a bit, looking for the negative space. I already know some things are kind of off here with this. But that's all right. I get the handle in here. So this is really just, now it is mapping out the composition. And getting the forms in. Oops. And this just gets easier over time, like mapping these things in. And of course, I have to say I've done this setup now a few times. Just I've been playing around with a little bit of watercolors just for the heck of it. So I did a small try of it with the watercolors and a sketch pad. And I did one with acrylics just for fun. And then now I'm doing this. So I've had, every time I look at it, like I have a chance to like look and try to draw it out or whatever. It sort of gets imprinted a little bit more in my mind's eye, and I pick up more of the the shapes, like what's happening with the shapes. So I've got a good basic, I think, lay of the basic layout here. I am going to drop in that they're a little bit off, like, this isn't exactly where this is, the back of the table coming through here somewhere. It's actually a little bit lower, but that's okay too. Don't need to worry about it. And now what I'm going to do is I'm looking for the shadows, the shadow parts, reflections. So I see one here on the picture on the left. You don't have to get all the nuances. Sometimes too it's helpful to, which we didn't do, like just to decide how many values you're gonna map out, like keep it simple to like 3 or 4 key values, which I didn't think about that for this example. That's okay. Just gonna roll with this, how it is. And this picture's not quite in the right location, but I'm gonna just pretend. I have to pretend sometimes. Take the artist license. Okay, so let's just go continue working with the shadows. So there's something back there. There's a really subtle shadow back in here on the table. I see something back here. Then there's one kind of back in here. I didn't put that turquoise piece of color in there. There's a shadow in here. Got the shadow going back there. This is the rest of the table. There's a sharper shadow in there. This is just actually a little bit this needs to come out a little bit. Yeah. Look at that. This is some soft shadow in here, down in here. And sometimes there's a lot of times shadows will layer over one another. Look at this one. Okay, and then and I'm not going to put the pattern on this picture. Keep it simple today. Some soft shadows in here, I think. Squinting helps a lot too. You can squint and try to really, that helps narrow down what's going on. Okay, so now I'm gonna grab another brush and just try to really just work on the shadows, what they're looking like. And to me, like the darkest shadows are in here and against the back wall. They look like some of the darkest shadows. So we'll just start in there, kind of working these in. This is actually a little bit lighter over here. And you can come back over these things. And I'm like I said, I'm working in oils today, and I don't use mineral spirits anymore. I just work with walnut oil. So before if I were to be gonna go paint on top of this, which I'm not gonna do, I would need to let this dry for a few days, so that the colors wouldn't blend, wouldn't get, turn to the blue. And I've got that too dark, but that's all right. I'll come back in there. Just gonna go in here with this dark part. So I'm working on starting with the darkest dark. I mean, really that interior of the picture is the darkest dark, but it's got a lot of light on it too. And I'm just trying to work kind of fast here. Put that in there. Here, this is a little bit dark. And then there's this other there's another shadow out here. And I think it's just a little bit darker over here on this picture. Maybe I'll take that, take this down, dark. There's some other darks over here, a little darker, not as this white pictures. This is lighter here. And sometimes I have to go back because I don't see things. I mean, I realize that some value is maybe not is lighter than what I put down, so you can always go back in, and kind of lighten it up. perfect. And you can do whole paintings of just value studies. They're kind of fun, I think. I think they're also can be really beautiful. So there's maybe some other, a little bit darker in here. This comes in a little bit more. This guy in. I didn't get this shadow. Let's see it. This one's pretty dark back here. I'm getting a little lost in here. This is a little dark in here. There's that. And there is one out here, really subtle, soft. Subtle back here. Table. And this is also really soft back here. This is still pretty light back here, but we've got some color. And I'm just gonna get something in there. Every color has a value. And my drawing's a little bit off here. But that's okay. Like I said, we're not gonna stress about that, really. All right, so we've got this value study sort of started, and I'm going to continue working on it for a bit, but you kind of get the idea. You know, when we get color added in, that will make a big difference. And this may not be as quite as dark here, but then this is going to be gold yellow, so that will make a difference. And my white picture definitely has some blues in it, and like I'm getting to see some of the other colors that are in the white yellows, and I'll try to get those worked in. And this spout's got a little bit darker interior to that. And I didn't really catch the handles. We can work on those briefly here. Just come in with a smaller brush. Gonna come down. This one, I have to bring in more of the whites. I have to work on that handle a bit. Just go back to this one. Shadow there. And sometimes I use Q-tips to smudge stuff out. It can be really helpful. And this has a little bit of color tone to it. Yeah. White. Trying to get that in. Getting there. So I'm just gonna I think I'm gonna stop here. You guys get the general idea of this is a value study. Can be a nice way to start out a painting, just even as a first painting, and you can use this as a reference before you start your painting that has color in it. It can really help you when it comes to adding the colors, you know, and making sure that you're getting the right values in there of each color. And yeah, I need to just work on this a little more. All right, yeah, I think what I'll do is I'll stop here and then continue, and then I can follow up with a photograph when it's done. So thank you so much for watching. I hope this was helpful. A little bit of a example of a value study. All right, everybody, take care. See you again soon. Bye now.